Welcome back to the channel, y'all, man. Today, we're going to do something that the Saints refuse to do every offseason, and that's address the receiver position. I've already talked about Marquez Callaway, who I think had a fairly decent year under the circumstances he was thrown in. Basically became our wide receiver one, had to catch from 4 different quarterbacks, so he had an up and down year, but solid nonetheless. Talked about Traquan Smith, don't want him back. That's just it on him. Also talked about Deante Harris, and I'm expecting to see much more from him in year 2, basically as a full-time wide receiver. But let's kind of talk about the other guys before I address the receivers. LaJordan Humphrey came on late. Man, when you see him on tape, you see him on film, you just see his size. Like, he's a player. He's a player. I've been waiting for him to make that jump. He kind of came on late, had a couple good games. Honestly, was our second best receiver for probably the last 2 or 3 weeks of the season. Don't know if they're going to bring him back. I'm sure they will. Practice squad. He's going to be kind of one of those active roster guys for 3 weeks here, 2 weeks there, things like that. But maybe he'll make a jump to full-time, player, every week player. You also had guys that played this year. Todd Montgomery, hey man, no disrespect. Time to move on from that. Todd Montgomery shouldn't, be on this team. It is what it is. Chris Hogan played for us for a minute. He retired mid-year. That was weird. Kevin White, seen enough of him. Don't want to bring him back. Kenny Stills, who we all were fooled. We all wanted Kenny Stills back. He came back. Nah, just not it. Just not it. It's over with for him. I'm not gonna call him washed. Just don't want to see him back in the Saints uniform. And that just kind of leaves the receiving core up in the air. Right now, I think only solid guys we can depend on right now will be if Michael Thomas is healthy, because obviously if Michael Thomas is healthy, we can depend on him, Marquez Callaway, and Deante Harris. That's basically me in my eyes. We're going into the year with three wide receivers that we can count on, 3 wide receivers that I want on this team, from the current roster, last year's roster, and things like that. Obviously, the Saints are in cap hell, hand quotations on cap hell, because we know Mickey Loomis is the cap guru, and that doesn't really bother him. So free agency may not be the market for us. It's going to be some good wide receivers in free agency, but I don't think we'll be able to make a run at any of those guys. But I've seen stranger things happen. I'll go through some of the names on the list for our free agent wide receivers. Obviously, we're not going to get 99% of these guys, like Devontae Adams. We won't get him. Chris Godwin won't get him. Mike Williams, Allen Robinson, Michael Gallup, who I think is an interesting sign. Don't know if we'll have the money for him. AB, relax. Odell would be a free agent. Juju, Christian Kirk, DJ Chark could bring him back home. Will Fuller, Jamison Crowder. So it's guys out there, man. It's a deep free agency for wide receivers this year. So if you want to go that route, or if we can afford that route, that'd be nice. But we definitely need to address this in the draft. I say this every year. We need to draft a receiver. Draft a receiver high. I don't want to draft a 4th or 5th, 6th round receiver and hoping we can develop a guy. Let's go out and get one of those first rounders. Obviously, it's not a guarantee that that guy will be good or whatnot, but you're just increasing your chances. I know I'm going to say this. I want us to draft a receiver, but we'll end up drafting a tackle or a guard. I just think that's what the Saints do. It's been a strategy for them. I can't say it's failed them. Well, as of late it has, but we'll see what we do in the draft, man. I want us to take a receiver bad this year. We need a receiver. Not going to say who I want. I wanted Jameson Williams before the ACL injury. Don't know, what that's going to look like now. Haven't really looked at too many mocks. I'll probably start doing that once the Super Bowl's over and everybody's kind of got their order situated and things like that. But yeah, man, receivers been a problem for us for a couple years now. Even when Michael Thomas had the NFL record-breaking year, Emmanuel Sanders really didn't work out for us like I thought he was. And just going years and years back, it's been about 3 or 4 years. I've said every year we need another receiver. We need a true number 2, a true number 3, a true number 4, honestly. I see teams in this league with 4 or 5 capable receivers. We barely can get one capable receiver to show up each week. We're going to have to address that. Obviously, that's going to be a big thing. Depending on who he hires as a coach, if it's Bieniemy, we're going to need weapons. He's an offensive guy. He's gonna need weapons. And we're going to have to give him weapons, man. For him to prosper as a coach, he's going to need weapons. If it's Dennis Allen, don't know who the OC will be, but he'll need weapons as well, obviously. So, the main point is we need weapons bad at the receiver position. And that's just that on that, man. Let me know how y'all would address the receiver position for us. like I said, I want to look at some guys in free agency. I know money's not going to be readily available for us to go after, some of those guys. But like I said, you never know. Maybe through trade, maybe that's a possibility. Who knows? But the draft is the most realistic option for the Saints. That'll be it. Gonna talk about the tight ends coming up next, or maybe the quarterbacks to kind of finish out this offensive recap for the season. And going over these guys, man, I know a lot of y'all wanted me to talk about the quarterbacks. Obviously, I'm gonna save that one for last, but tight ends will be up next. Won't be long to get done with the tight ends. That'll be done before the end of this week, guaranteed. Quarterbacks hopefully later in the week, and that's gonna be big, man. I got some thoughts on all 4 guys that we played this year, so that'll be a interesting listen right there. But thank y'all for tuning in once again, man. It's the Boot Tragedies, and I'm out.